This is Professor Muhammad Mustafa Al-A'zami, a brilliant Muslim scholar who did something that no one had thought of before. He compiled a book that could statistically prove the divine source of the Quran. But the crazy thing is that the book contains none of his words. No commentary, no explanation, no personal input whatsoever. Just pure, irrefutable proof. So, what is it? And how can a book with no author input prove anything? Well, we're about to find out. The book we're talking about is titled النص القرآني الخالد عبر العصور, the eternal Quranic text across the ages. And the idea behind it is quite simple, yet incredibly powerful. It is based on a detailed word-for-word comparison of a single surah of the Quran, Surah Al-Isra, comparing between a modern printed copy of the Mus'haf that you probably have today at home to the most ancient manuscripts from different ages, ranging from the 1st century of Hijrah, at the time of the Sahaba, all the way to the present day. In his research, he used 18 different manuscripts from different time periods, countries, and sources, including the Birmingham manuscripts, the Sana'a manuscripts, the Samarkand Mus'haf, the Topkapi Mus'haf, which is attributed to Uthman ibn Affan, may Allah be pleased with him. Also, the Rampur Mus'haf, which is attributed to Ali ibn Abi Talib, may Allah be pleased with him, the Mus'haf of Ibn Bawab, and many others from different centuries. And when he compared all of them, word for word, the result was nothing short of a miracle. Here you can see the first verse of Surah Al-Isra. The first line shows the modern printed version. And in the second line, it is the same text but without diacritics or dots for easier comparison, since the older manuscripts didn't contain any diacritics or dots. And then below, all the corresponding words from each manuscript. Every single word is shown across different mushafs and manuscripts, covering a span of 15 centuries, revealing an astonishing fact that doesn't need commentary or explanation. Keep your eyes on the first 4 or 5 words and see how each and every word remained exactly the same over a period of 14 centuries. The book then goes on and on comparing every ayah, every word of the surah. And despite coming from different times, regions, materials, and even writing styles, not a single word is missing or added. This is what perfect preservation looks like. After this comparison, the author presents a graph showing the percentage of match between all of these manuscripts. And as you can see, the matching percentage is very high across the board, with the lowest match percentage of 92.6% for the Mus'haf of Ibn Bawab. But, wait a minute. Shouldn't this be 100% if we're talking about perfect preservation? Well, yes, but here's the thing. These differences are not about missing, added, or substituted words. They are just simply spelling differences. And to be more specific, they are orthographic differences, like color and color, center and center. And as examples from the book, the word Al-Aqsa is written here with an alif, but in other manuscripts with an alif maqsura. The word Subhan may appear in some with an alif, but in other manuscripts it is written with a dagger alif. Other examples like As-Samawat, Barakna, all have the same type of variations, sometimes with an alif, sometimes with a dagger alif. So it is not that these words are misspelled. They just followed a different method to spell the same word. And that's why all of these words are still pronounced the same, which is the main point, since the Quran is primarily an oral text, meant to be recited, preserved through recitation, and not just writing. And so, Surah Al-Isra, which consists of 1,559 words, has had every single one of its words preserved across all manuscripts, across the ages since the day it was revealed. This simple word-for-word comparison across centuries is all it takes to demonstrate the miraculous preservation of the Quran, something no other book in history can claim. But do you want to appreciate this study even more? Well, let's look at a similar study conducted by researcher Peter Gary on the Greek manuscripts of the Bible. In his research, he compared 350 manuscripts to each other out of the total of 5,800 available Greek manuscripts, and he found a staggering number of differences between them. Can you take a guess of how many differences he found? 100? 1,000? 10,000? Even 100,000? Nope, none of them is correct. According to his study, which I linked in the description, there were over 500,000 variations across just those 350 manuscripts. He even created a helpful table showing the average number of variations per word. In Matthew, for example, there is an average of 5 variations per word. In Titus, around 7 variations per word. In the first letter of John, a bit better fortunately, about only 2 variations per word. If you think those numbers sound exaggerated or hard to believe, I strongly encourage you to read the study yourself. So when you see these facts and understand how much can go wrong over the centuries with any written text, it makes you truly appreciate the miraculous nature of the preservation of the Quran. And so, there is no better way to end this video than with the words of Allah. إِنَّا نَحْنُ نَزَّلْنَا الذِّكْرَ وَإِنَّا لَهُ لَحَافِظُونَ. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out my latest books with their video courses if you want to learn the Quran in Arabic or properly learn its tajweed. Check out the links in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time, inshallah.